Hey, welcome back to Overhead Athletics. I've got David here, one of our youngsters, 9th grader. We're gonna show you guys a little bit of what we're doing with throwing holds. Now, throwing holds were something that, who knows, could have been done for years and years, but were really made popular by Tom House maybe 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that. The idea being that we have some weighted implements. Now, we could go light too and do this with a 2 ounce, but we got some weighted implements, 1 pound, 2 pounds, and you don't let them go, you hold them. So throwing hold is kind of the term that we've become accustomed to here. And the idea being that it actually strengthens you so that you don't fall back into as much external rotation as you throw. You have to strengthen the internal rotators eccentrically in the throw. And we know that's an issue for a lot of guys, and we can measure that strength and then come into a test like this or a exercise like this and then test it in a more throwing specific manner, use it as a training tool. David's gonna get set here. He's got a 1 pound ball in his throwing hand, he's left-handed, and he's got a 2 pound ball in his non-throwing hand here to simulate a glove. Now get athletic, squat down a little bit. Now he's gonna do a throwing hold that way, so he's not gonna let go. Go. Now he wants to replicate good throwing mechanics as much as he possibly can, and we're using a pre-position of his arm. And so he can give me a few reps here. Good. Go ahead and go again. Get him into a good position. So we utilize pre-positioning to get his arm in a good slot. And then we can have him go with more of a lift. Or go from down here, get it to the same spot. And what David likes to do is he kind of pulls back into a bad position. So right into that same spot. Not so high, right to here, David. It's the time we can start to work on his throwing mechanics at the same time that we're training it right to here. You keep lifting it to there. So that's where the arm's gotta be, and you can notice the difference in mechanics, but we're using these holds as a training tool with decreased loads into external rotation because he doesn't get to his end range. Go again. Better. So now he's starting to load those internal rotators, but also he's got to decelerate that added load at the end of his throw. So now we're gonna do it with a shuffle step. So like you're in the set, but then now I want you to shuffle and go, or crow hop and go. Good. And so now he's adding a little more momentum. And the more momentum he adds, the more difficult the exercise, but the more he's getting out of it. So go ahead and go again here. Good. Now we can switch to a heavier load or a lighter load. So you can switch hands. The pink one here is a 2 pounder. So now he's got to train the same thing. And this simultaneously trains a little grip strength. Yeah, so go ahead and do our quarterback throw. Bounce, bounce, go. Good. So we're training decelerator muscles with the throwing hold. We're training the accelerator muscles by controlling that, because we know a lot of people get problems going back into external rotation, especially anterior apprehension. So apprehension around the front of the shoulder when you lay back. A lot of those issues can be solved by doing a throwing hold. And this is kind of how we'll start to do it. Pre-position, start with a lower load with your arm already in a set position, then add the arm lift, and then add momentum or lower body stuff. So now give a nice powerful crow hop and do it. Good. Now he's got to control the end of the throw, and he's got to control that deceleration of the arm. So go ahead and go again. So a great way to actually strengthen the throwing arm and do it in a more throwing specific manner after we've done some stuff where we're actually working on the external rotator specifically, or these other things that try to control the loads around the shoulder. He's got to grip this ball, which makes him control a little bit harder with the anterior forearm muscles and the medial forearm muscles as he comes through. So that's how we're doing throwing holds in a lot of our athletes. It's a great tool to start to strengthen your arm, to use as a warm-up, also to make sure that you're utilizing good mechanics. It's harder to get away with poor mechanics with these sorts of things. So David's going to do a couple more quick throws here with that 2 pounder. Nice. And how we program this is we program it like a weight training exercise, sets and reps, or we'll do, hey, you got 10 to 15 in your warm-up with, you know, 1 pound ball or even a regular ball. Go ahead. So he may do 3 sets of 10 of these. With a 2, 3 sets of 10 with a 1 or something like that. The lighter the ball, the harder you have to work as an impulse tool to train deceleration. So deceleration, you're working really hard, really fast with a light tool because you accelerate your arm faster, but you're gonna have actually more load over a greater period of time with the heavier ball. If you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next one.